I don't know how long this video is going to be, but it's going to be unedited. Maybe no thumbnail as well, but Morecambe FC, a historic 105-year-old football club at risk of getting liquidated and expelled from the football pyramid. Of course, recently, Morecambe FC relegated from League 2 into the National League, the non-league system, which, as an Oldham fan, it is a pain in the backside to get out of. It took us 3 years to get out of, but thankfully we're out now. And of course, what's going on at Morecambe now? We experienced it a few years ago. Thankfully, we were bought out by an absolute legend, Frank Rothwell, and we are back in the Football League where we belong, and I hope Morecambe do get a new owner. They treat them right, they hug the fans and get them out of that league. But, of course, full story, Jason Whittingham bought the club around 2020, 2021 time, and it's just not looked good since. Of course, they were in League One, and now they've just had a double relegation all the way to, I believe it's a double relegation, I'm not sure, but they're now in non-league, which they do not deserve to be there. And now they're at risk of just being expelled. Of course, recently we had, of course, Bury. They got expelled from the Football League, and yeah, of course, we had Macclesfield as well. Sorry, I just couldn't think of the name. Macclesfield, they got expelled, but of course, with them being non-league, it wasn't really covered as much, and I feel like something similar is happening at Morecambe. But, of course, Jason Whittingham, he had a rugby league club. I'm not sure who they were, but they went bust, and that is not a good sign, of course. Steve Dale, who owned Bury, he owned like several companies, all were liquidated, and it's not a good sign. So what I say to the EFL is the fit and proper test needs improving. How can you have these like Lemsagams, Steve Dale, and of course Dai Young from Reading? Thankfully he's gone now, and Reading have new buyers, and I'm happy for Reading fans. They're also a very historic club, of course. They used to be in the Premier League, and I hope they do go up this season. Personally, I don't see it. I will make a prediction for League One in the future. But, of course, again, Sheff Wednesday, they're going through something similar. They've had to actually close a stand, and they've gone through a transfer embargo, which, a club of that size, how are they going through that? How are a club of Sheffield Wednesday going through, like, no fan should see their club suffer, honestly. And it's honestly sad for just all the football, really, if Morecambe do go under. And personally, I hate to say it, but I really do see them like getting expelled from the National League, because the owner has said they got a new buyer, but he did say that they were going to announce a buyer the next day on Friday, which was, as of recording this, 2 days ago. It is now Sunday, and we've literally had nothing, and they've had to cancel a pre-season fixture against Barrow because of what's going on. And this could be the sign of like the sign of the times that Morecambe could go bust. So my message to Jason Whittingham: sell the club, do what's right, put the fans first. They've been watching this club from like very young ages. Like, of course, you got all ages, like old, young, people my age, people in their 50s, the middle age, 20s, 30s, all ages, just going down on a Saturday at 3 o'clock and watching their team play. And it's just sad that they never do that again. And that's, of course, how a whole lot of Bury fans felt. And thankfully, of course, Bury, they are somewhat back. They are in the 9th tier, of course. They're now in the 8th tier, just got promoted from the 9th tier. And I have got a vlog for Bury coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. But hope Morecambe can get this thing resolved, and Sheffield Wednesday as well. And just this should be like a warning sign. We thought Bury would be a warning sign, but no. We've had several clubs have financial issues. It started with Bury, but then we got blooming Macclesfield. They got expelled from the National League. Then we nearly had Derby get expelled. They went into administration, and Bolton at the exact same time as Bury. Bolton were having some issues as well. Southend, of course, I do like Southend as a club. I do hope they get promoted from the National League. They deserve it. They're too big of a club to be in that league. But no fan should see their club just go through tough times. Of course, football, you see promotion, relegation. Relegation is the only tough time you should see, and you can build from a relegation, but you can't build. Well, you can build from expulsion, but it takes more time than relegation. Of course, Bury currently in the 8th tier, and it'll take them 4 years to get back to the where they belong, I think. And I hope they do that. And same with of course, Macclesfield. They're now in the National League North. They're only 2 years away from being in the Football League again. But I just hope Morecambe, and if they do go bust, I hope that the Phoenix Club that they set up will do well. Of course, Wimbledon as well. They started in the 9th. It is possible for anything to happen, anything positive to happen. And just, it starts in 11 days and they've only got 9 senior players. One of those being, of course, former Oldham Athletic midfielder Ben Tollett. And honestly, he's an absolute baller, I think. And they don't the players as well. Just think of the staff. The staff have not been paid. That's another thing he needs to do, pay the staff, because they need to make ends meet somehow. And again, if they do get expelled, that's another part of the community of Morecambe just stripped out the history, the town. But I feel this is unscripted, by the way, but I do wish the best for Morecambe, and I do hope they live. But with that said, I hope you enjoyed watching. Take care.